Hey folks, Coach Patrick here from Endurance Nation, back with another 3 bullets video. This is where I break down a race for you guys into the most minute form possible. Always fun to do with an Ironman because it's only 140.6 miles and millions of different permutations, but I try it every time. Next race for me is potentially the next race for you, Ironman Kona. And been doing a lot of thinking in my head about what it means to get myself and all the members of the team who are racing this year ready, which brings me to my 3 bullets for this year. So the first bullet on the swim, okay? The most important thing you can do on the swim is to swim with other folks. You've got your technique, you've got your fitness, etc., but swimming in a group has never been more important in Kona and never been more important than the return trip. Once you go around the body glove boat or whatever the heck they have out there, all the way out in the middle of the ocean apparently, coming back in, there's a current moving offshore. And it basically moves you on a diagonal. You're swimming diagonally back in, and the current's moving basically from right to left on your body, trying to force you further out as you're trying to stay focused on the King Cam Hotel. And swimming in a group can literally save you 4 or 5 minutes on that return trip as you fight that current. You want to get into a group and sit in there. The only reason you'd ever want to pass someone is if you think they're going to stop or they're having issues or you think you're phenomenally strong. But since you're nowhere near the end of the race, it's really not that important. So get in a group and swim with that group. That's number 1. Number 2, on the bike, okay? The most important thing you can do on this bike is hydrate. Hydrate, hydrate. I don't care if your plan is to go out fast and take advantage of the tailwind, or go out slow and be ready for the headwind on the way back, or you're going to conserve yourself till you get to Hawaii, or whatever you're going to do. But the most important thing you need to do, regardless of tailwind, no tailwind, sick crosswinds, debris on the road, competitors all around you, is hydrate. Because guaranteed the bike is going to be hot and the run will be even hotter. And if you don't get in that hydration early on the bike, your day will be effectively over. Regardless of the fitness you have with you or the fatigue you're carrying from qualifying, if you're not hydrated, it's not going to work. Your goal is to pee 2 times on the bike. It's going to start off probably, in the low 80s. And eventually, when you start heading up on some of the steep hills on the way back into town, from the turn to Hawaii, you've got to go by the scenic overlook, by the airport. There's 1 or 2 hills out there by the Mauna Kea as well that are going to slow you down to 8, 9 miles an hour, 6 miles an hour maybe. And the ambient temperature from the road is going to hit you. It's going to radiate off the pavement. And the temperature is going to go from 87 or 88 degrees when you're riding along to like 103. So you need to be hydrated because your body's going to start kicking out sweat. Minimum 2 bottles an hour, ideally 40 ounces of sports drink per form an hour, whatever's out there, whatever you're taking, as your baseline, and go from there. If you're not peeing, you're not racing in Kona. Okay, that's number 2. And number 3, on the run. The most important thing you can do on the run is watch your heart rate, okay? Because there's a huge amount of heat accumulation on the race in Kona. It starts down on Ali'i Drive, where you've got a 5-mile out, a 5-mile back section. You're by the water, but there's no breeze off of it. It's just super humid. You can't believe how hilly Ali'i Drive is, given you've been on it all week and never seen that hilly. And you know you have to head out into lava fields where it's going to be desolate and also even hillier than it is now. The key thing you can do here is to watch your heart rate, because if that heart rate starts to go up while your pace stays constant or begins to drop, then you're having what's called the decoupling effect, and that is you on your way to exploding. And you can stop it by watching your heart rate, settling into a good place that feels comfortable for you, monitoring that number regardless of terrain conditions, making sure you're eating and drinking. When things get hard, slow down to keep the heart rate low. When things feel good on downhills, you can pick it up a little bit. But if you can use that heart rate as your steady guide across the day, guaranteed you'll have a consistent, happy day at Ironman Kona. All right? I hope to see you guys there if you're going to make it. This is Coach Patrick from Endurance Nation signing off. Hope you enjoyed the 3 bullets. I'll see you guys online or at the races.